Am I live? Let me check. Hello, 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 hello. Am I live? Let me check. Okay, I'm alive. I can see myself. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, cool. Okay, so today it will not be a study stream. Like it won't be a lecture kind of a stream. It will be a study stream. Okay, so for a couple of days I was exploring MCP. So I want to study like how to implement it from scratch. So I thought, why not create a live stream out of it? So I won't be explaining my stuff. I will be actually reading and studying it. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So okay. Okay, so far what I have read is basically MCP is based upon this JSON-RPC protocol, and whatever things I have gone through this documentation, it just tells me that I just need to implement JSON-RPC. Okay, so let's go. Okay, cool. I'll just maximize it. Cool. Something went wrong. I have no idea what is this. Okay. Fuck it. Okay, so the idea is simple. So what I will be doing today is, I think it will have my previous drawing. Nope. So the idea is pretty simple. So what I'll be doing is, we will be building a MCP tool, okay, backed with some image processing utilities, uh, utilities. Uh, uh, so it's kind of like giving LLM model the all the APIs that we have in, let's say, Pillow or OpenCV. So we will have a model or an LLM where we will give this all list of MCP tools, and we will ask some query, and hopefully this LLM will be able to choose it wisely. So for this I have set up a Vision LLM. I guess I have set up Ollama for it. Sorry, yeah, I already have Ollama. So I will just check if Ollama is running. PS, okay, nothing is running, but Ollama is up. So if I do list, yeah, so I have already installed this Gamma 4 E4B, blah blah blah. That's VLLM stuff. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing first, I will first create a CMD thing with a server. What? Oh yeah, -p. Let's go with main.go. So far what I have read is, so there is this JSON-RPC. So there are two ways we can implement MCP. So basically based upon two protocols. So there is this standard JSON-RPC, which is basically you build a RPC layer where you can send JSON, So this will work if my LLM is running inside my OS as a process, and my MCP client is also running as a process, and my MCP server, where the tools will actually execute, that is also running in my same system. So same system. So yeah, if all of the if these three are running in the same system, then the mode of communication between, I guess, this to this is JSON-RPC. So yeah. Local MCP servers. Nope, 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 nope. I want to do this. Architecture, yeah. Um, yeah, so this is how we send JSON-RPC. It just takes this. ID is important. We have a method. We send some parameter. If I open JSON-RPC documentation side by side, I've gone through this documentation once. So every request object should have these. But there are something like if I'm sending a notification, then I don't need to send an ID. But if I'm sending some parameters for a function call, then I need to send an ID. Okay. And this is the structure for response. And there is error. There are some error code, which is, I have zero fucking idea why they chose this number, why they didn't stick to that HTTP status code kind of format, 200, 5xx, 4xx. Not sure. And yeah, I just need to implement this. So if I want something like to call subtract method with these two parameters, I have to send the request ID, the protocol version, and yeah, my server has to return something like this. Okay, yeah, so this is on JSON-RPC. So this is what I'll try to code. Other thing is there is this streamable HTTP, which is when your MCP server gets decoupled. So I'm just saying all this just so that I can revise. I will have some confidence to build something. Okay, so when my MCP server is hosted somewhere and I have an LLM, or more specifically, I have multiple MCP clients trying to execute some functions, so they can connect to this. Now the mode of communication between this to this will be this streamable HTTP. Cool. So I don't need to worry about this, I just need to implement this. Okay, cool. So let's get started. Let's bring this guy to right. Let's clear this. Let's say this generate code. Oh fuck. Okay, this is my thing. Package main. There will be func main. I need to create. It's my vision blur. Okay, I need to increase the font size, I guess. Yep. Okay, the stream is a little slow. Can I hear myself? Yep. Okay, whatever. Match that. Cool. So I'll create a process. Signal. Actually, no. Different context. And I create a context here. Context background. I'll say if I do Control C, which is sig int, I guess. Oh, I need syscall. Sig int syscall sig term if I'm sending process kill. Sig term. Okay, it looks weird. I've never worked with this large font size. I'll stick to my convenience. Okay, cool. Cool. Then I need to gracefully shut it down. I guess so. Okay, I'll just turn this music off. I'll say long print ln receive shutdown signal, and I can say okay, it looks good. Okay, so should work. Hey, it's not it. Go mod Vision-MCP. Go mod init. Go mods the ID. Cool. Yeah, I'll create one internal. Cool. So what I need to do, so I have this. Forgot about the image. There was one image which shows the communication. Was it this? This. Okay, maybe what is MCP? Understand concepts. MCP specification, data layer. Okay, core concepts. MCP local file system. Okay. Transport layer. Oh yes, stdio transport. I need this guy. Why do I have this? Okay. I'm not sure. There was one thing that was showing me how to communicate between this architecture. Is it architecture? I have this. How they change it? Nope. Stick to latest. Fuck it. As far as I remember, so I need to send between my standard in and standard output. That's what I remember. Let me search for it. Yep. Yeah, something. Okay, it's inside specification, right? Okay, fuck it. Cool. Now I have control over my process. Then I need a scanner. So I'll say reading input buffers, input, okay, input buffer, and another will be sending out to output buffer. So I'll say scanner buff.io new scanner os dot standard in. I need an encoder buff.io. Oh, I need to send JSON, right? So it has to encode from standard out. Cool. So I have scanner and encoder. Then it should be an infinite for loop. Okay, so if my scanner is getting something, let me check this. I need to see the scanner dot scan, and yeah, it was default to max 64 KB. If a signal larger than this, then this errors out. Okay, so I can increase this. So okay, what happened? Okay, keep on scanning and get this, and before that I can set my scanner buffer size. Scanner buffer, I'll say it has to read bytes, so why is it showing me this byte? So default 64, so I can say and okay, I fucked it up. Yep, so this should be a byte size of 64, and I need to set the max, so I'll set max to let's say 10 MB. I'm not sure how long my prompt will be. Cool. Cool, so I'll keep on scanning. So scanner dot bytes, I'll get this, and I can print this maybe. So printf main received raw requests, and how to print this raw, maybe I can do this. Cool. Yep, cool. Then once I get this, so I need to write a handler, right? So okay, let's stick to p. Let's create a directory for MCP. Okay. I need to encode standard error. No. Okay, cool. Let's stick to MCP. I'll write handler. That's right. Handler. Okay, so is this. Okay. I have this guy. So this guy will be sending me something, some raw text in JSON format, obviously. Um, what I need here. So let's go. I need a handler. So I'm just thinking like, so there will be tools. Okay. Now my handler will have some methods because I have to implement some methods. So these methods will be calling some internal functions. So I'm just thinking like how to structure this. Uh, okay. So what are tools I have to make? So I need one cropping tool. Okay. And I need to send ID. So the client has to send it. I don't need to worry about it. Create handle request. Take the context and it will take the raw thing, right? So it will be in bytes. Okay, so yep, so this should be this. Let me just write any for now. Should be byte context dot context. I should get some response out of this. So it should take this, it should take this, it should take this. And if let's say if the client is sending me a notification, then I will be sending nothing, right? So my response should be nil at that case, so I should continue. Otherwise so so I have to send a map. Now that map has to be encodable into JSON, so I should get an error with encoder. If my encoder is not able to encode it in JSON, then I will get an error. So if error is not nil, so I'll just print fail to write response. I'll just print this and I'll just print this. Cool. I guess this should be my loop, and now I need to shut it down also. In Golang. Oh, yeah, this guy. Let's copy this. I can paste it here. Cool. So it should be outside of the for loop, right? Yep. Cool. So I guess this should be my log this server. Okay. So what is happening here is, both of them are communicating, so this two. Okay, so these two are communicating via, you can think of like in the terminal. So in terminal, we generally send everything in standard output buffers, standard error buffers, and we send in something with standard input buffer. So my client will be sending something in standard input. Let me say, so client, let me decrease the uh, brush width. Okay, so my client here, okay, so it will be sending me a request payload, something like this. Let me copy this. Okay, or maybe I can increase this so that I can get this full text. Cool. So my client will be sending something like this. So whiteboard, this. Okay, now this thing will be going inside my standard input buffer. Okay, now from that standard input I have my scanner, which will check, hey, is something has been given to standard input? If yes, then this guy will be collecting it, okay, which I will get in raw bytes. Now once I have this request on my server end, so this guy should be parsing it. It should be parsing it, and it should do some shenanigans like routing this request to couple of handlers. And let's say I have h1, h2, h3, so I'm planning on like building at least a crop handler. Okay, okay, and one of this handler will be giving something out, and at the end of this shenanigans I will get output, okay, which should look something like this. Okay, yeah, which should look something like this. And then I have to send it to output buffer so that my client can read it. Okay, so I have to send it to standard output. Okay, and yeah, cool. So then my client can receive it. Cool. So this is what I have to build. Should be good to go. Okay, cool. So I have handle request. So I have to build a schema first. Okay, how to parse it. Okay, I got one more watcher. Nice. Cool. So let's build a schema. Cool. This is the schema. I'll say there is this request.go. So I basically need to implement this guy. Okay, so I'll just copy this. Cool. Say request, so it should be a struct with a JSON with a RPC. It should be string, and when I'm doing unmarshalling, marshalling, I should convert this back to this thing, and I should get a ID, which should be JSON raw message. Okay, so JSON ID. So for notification I don't get it, so this will be empty, and there will be a method So it should be string. I should get JSON. Okay, now that guy is not there. Okay, cool. Param, so I'll decode it as a JSON raw message. Yeah, cool. Because yeah, so this thing has to be a JSON raw message because multiple tools can output in their format. So I don't want to deal with how to structure that format. I will have a fixed structure, but yeah, so cropping tool can give me coordinates, image path, and let's say if I build a blur kind of a tool, so that will have different output. So yeah, and also input to that will can vary. So param I will make it generic. Cool. So okay, people are popping up and going, so not sure. Cool. Then I need a response schema. So there is error schema, there is response schema. This should be the version. Then I will have a ID. So ID should be this is not message. Did I encode ID there? Yep. So request, because the same schema I will be using for requesting tools and also to send notifications. So this is empty. I won't be sending ID notifications. For response, I will always send an ID. So yeah, I don't need omit empty here. Yeah, response will always have requests, may or may not. Okay, so cool. So I'll say result. I'll stick to any. So I can also send strings, and string may not be JSON encodable. So yeah, I'll stick to any. So I'll say result. Cool. And now it's turn for error. Okay. So for error, I need code, message, and data. So let's copy this. Okay, or maybe I can type it out. So let's stick to RPC error. Maybe I can use the schema of response for error responses in my tools. So yeah, I'll say code int this on code, and other is message. So I'll say message message, and it needs some data. So data can be any. So JSON data, and this may be omitted. Okay, cool. So I have an RPC error, I have a success response. Cool. I can create one more for my tools. So I'll say error response, so it will be a struct. So I'll be sending, yeah, JSON. So let's copy this. Okay, cool. Then ID, then it should be same as this, I guess. Okay, but instead here error, so let me copy this, let's get this and result, and this should be error. Cool. So yeah, so what did I do here is, so if you read this blog, so it basically says that if your tool is successfully returning a response, so you should send JSON-RPC, you should send the result, and you should send the ID. Okay, so that the client will always have the idea like for which request the response it is getting. Okay, then this is for a successful response. But if the tool failed, okay, so then you do not send any result, you send an error. Okay, so this error is for that. Okay, cool. So I have this now. Since I have schema, let me check. This error is for that. Okay, okay, cool. Okay, where is my VS Code? Cool. So now I can parse this byte. Okay, so I'll say rec schema request. Okay, I'll do the marshalling, JSON unmarshal, so I'll get a go instance. Request bytes, let's use this name, and I'll give this memory address. I'll say error is not equal to nil. Okay, cool. And here I will return. So if I'm not able to parse it, okay, so I should send some error. So let's send this error. Okay, otherwise okay, so this will act as a router for me, right? So and yeah, so there are certain methods also I have to implement. So let's check this. I remember there was one initialize, then yeah, so initialize, and there was a function call for listing the tools. Where is that? Methods. Is it methods? Not this guy, not this guy. Each primitive has associated method discovery, list, retrieval, get. So there is tools list. Then this will list down it. This should list down all the tools that my server has. Then there is tools call. In this method, I can basically I can execute the function. Okay, and what else? There is something called initialization was there. prompting I'm not doing, I'm just sticking to tool call. Black ship, have you any? Oh, no sir, no sir, please fuck you. Ba 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 ba. How the fuck did it work? Okay. Initialize method. Let's say initialize method. I need to order food. Let's go with pizza. Where is chicken supreme? Chicken supremo. Yep, I got chicken supremo. Let's go with yeah. Okay, and this, and let's go. Cool, food is now ordered. And did I get anything? Initial method is a part of a legacy MCP lifecycle version. This. Here's order signs and then request. That's protocol version, capabilities, and re-implementation. Yeah, so initialization was basically a documentation for my server MCP, right? So yeah, I need to implement that. So I'll say switch, and I will switch with the request method. So if it is initialized, I have to do something with it. So for now, let's say I will create a function to handle it. So I'll say handle initialize. So it needs the context so that I can control every function, and it requires the request. So I'll stick to schema dot request. Okay, and what can it send it to me? What can it send? It can send anything. So yeah, but it should be possible. So yep, so this is for initialize, and handle initialize will take this along the request. Cool. Now second thing I need to build is this notification thing. Okay, so yep, notification, this. For now I don't think I need to handle notification, but yeah, let's stick to this. Then I need tool list, so that my client will have an idea like what all things my server has. Okay, cool. This, so I'll say handle let's say func handle tool list. So context, yeah, fuck, schema, nope, give me request with the any. Cool. So just for now return mail. Cool. And one more thing I'll be requiring is handling tool calls. So handle tool call, so it will again take this same context request schema and request. So I should say this nil. Now I can use this. So it will be basically like this with this, and if it is call, so tool call handle tool call context rec this, and yeah, I'm done with. So I'll simply say handle method not found. So this will be another method to handle the request. So let's say these are handlers, or maybe let's stick to handlers, and okay, fuck it, let's not discriminate for this method. So this yep, and if method is not there, I have to return this. Okay, so it takes context rec with a schema dot request any, and here I can return my first error handling function, which is, okay, I see a lag here. No, it's coming good. Yep. Okay. So I have to say if my context has sent a signal to kill yourself, so I have to respect that, right? So cool. I can send one more thing, let's say internal error. Okay, so I will get the ID, I will get this and an error. Okay, and I will require this thing, so new internal error. So basically I need this kind of a structure. So what like will happen is, so if if you guys are not familiar with JSON-RPC, so similar to STTP, okay, status codes. Okay, we have JSON-RPC status codes. So so these are the status code that we require. So if you simply search for STTP status code, so you will get a big list of it. So there are some 200s 300s involved, so you can see it's a big list. Okay, so for every kind of thing that can happen to your server, okay, there are status codes involved. So when you are getting your request successfully, so that's a 200 status code. So if you are sending something gibberish, not understandable by the server, you generally get some client side error, which is basically a 4xx error. So xx gets some number, so it basically starts with a 400 error code. But if the server is doing something fishy, then we have 500 something errors, like status codes. So yeah, similar to this, we have something for where is it? Yeah, JSON-RPC. Okay, so if we are not able to parse the request, so we need to send this status code. Okay, if the request itself is invalid, so the method, or let's say the parameters, are not with respect to the parameters that the function, the underlying function requires, so you can send 3 to 600. So, and then if the method is not found, so right now we only have what, 1 2 3 4 4 methods. So out of this 4 method, if we are getting something else, so we should return this status code. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not sure about this. I guess invalid request is something related to this schema, I guess. Then if instead of params I'm sending parameters as the field name, so I should return this, because here I'm saying there is a particular status code for invalid parameters. Okay, and there is this internal error which is similar to your 500 error in HTTP, and there is this server error which I am not sure. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'll code this up. So let me code this guy. So this guy takes a id. So JSON, what was that? JSON raw message. Yeah, it takes a raw message, then it takes a string message string, and this guy will return error response. Okay, and yeah, comma. Cool. So I'll say schema error response JSON with a RPC. I'll stick to 2.0 because this is what this documentation says, so I'll stick to this. And it's a response, so it's not a request. Yeah, so I need to send an error, so I'll simply paste the ID here, and I'll say error is schema dot RPC error. Okay, and here I'll say something, let's say internal error. Okay, cool. So this will be, yep. Oh wait, so for method not found, I should get the error, but how can I reuse this? Cannot. Yeah, I'll stick to this. Okay, this is for internal error. This, and I require a message, which is maybe the message here, and cool, and I need to send data, right? I can say internal error here. And in data I can send the message, a little comma over here, and our internal error function is implemented. Cool. Then here, so if the context says that kill yourself, or if there is something error with the context, then I need to send this internal error, so which is 500. Otherwise I will send an error response. Okay, so similar to this. Okay, ID I should get from request ID, remove. Okay, and this is a 404, which is method not found, which is this. Let me copy this. Okay, and here I can say let's stick to this capital M with an S, this found. Okay, and this data, I can send something like this, maybe map string any I'll say method that we found is this method. So which is wrong, bro, which is wrong. You don't send this, okay, because this is not allowed. Cool. Let's build. Okay, maybe the iPad is a bit laggy, but okay, cool. Let's do one more for parse error. Okay, so we have internal errors here, so let me call error handlers. Okay, and this I will say uh, request handlers. Okay, or maybe I can say valid request handlers. Okay, and yep, so let's implement one more, which is parsing error. So I'll say new parse error. Okay, so this guy can take a string. Okay, oh, two more. Cool, nice. Okay, schema error response. Same thing with some different strings, okay, and different status code. Parse. This guy. I need to send an ID, right? In parsing, do I need to send an ID? I got this. Parsing doesn't need an ID, I guess. It must be valid. Oh yeah. If there was an error detecting this, it must be null. Okay, cool. So parsing need not to be. So when we are not able to parse it, so there is no meaning of getting an ID, right? So yeah, cool. Okay, so this is parse error. And message. Okay, this is good. Cool. Now let's create initialize. Okay, and first thing first, so there was something called npx package. I think I have already installed it. I'll just make sure. So what this package does is it basically helps you. So if you are building an MCP server on your own, so it gives you a web interface in which you can, so it act like a swagger for your MCP client. Okay, so it's like your postman for your MCP client. Okay, you can send requests and check your MCP server is working or not. So yeah, this for that. I think I have installed it. Let me check. Yeah, I have already done this. So I'll just split the tab. Here. How do you start this? This locally download. This repository, the most common way is this. Check the repository itself. Yeah. Okay, cool. When it is installing, why is it reinstalling if it is already there? Now it opened. What the fuck is this? server use as a key letters this. Mine will be go run cmd and server, right? And I do not have any arguments. What is this environment value? Let's say Vision-MCP. If I add it, okay, how do I open it? Connect. Okay, let me. My server has to be up. Is it up? Oh fuck! I do not have any log statements. Okay. Black ship. Okay, so I can add a server is up. Okay, so log printf server is up. Okay, cool. And let's add maybe and then okay. C with md server. Okay, server is up. Okay, now if it is up, I get you. Okay. What the fuck? कभी खुशी कभी गम न जाता होंगे हम कभी खुशी कभी गम. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure about this. I'll try it later, but yeah, let's implement other things. And the request this. Okay, so what I need is I want to implement something simple. If I give you coordinates and an image path, you should be able to crop it. Okay, so for that I need something. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me implement tool call. Okay, so it should be similar to like this. And I need some parameters. So let's say speed handler, let's say tool calls. Okay, so let's stick to tool handler. Okay, so you are inside package. Okay, so I'll say, so for each tool I need to define something so that they will always be in a structured way. Okay, so for that as far as remember, every tool requires a name. Let me ask this guy. Okay, so every tool requires a name, a description of it, so that LLM, so it's kind of a docstring so that LLM can know, oh, okay, this tool does what. Okay, and it need an input schema so that LLM can send the input in that manner. Other than that, I'm not sure. Let's say tool schema for MCP tools if I'm building from scratch. Building from scratch. Let me also check what this guy does in background. Okay, I cannot inspect. Oh, because the tabs are split. Who is this guy calling? Okay, name and description only. Which model are you? I'm not sure. What is this? They are streaming. Why are you afraid? Okay, let's not do that. Okay, so you have name, input schema, right? So yeah, so I'll say tool handler struct. It shouldn't be a struct. It should be func actually. Yeah. What I need is I need a tool definition, because okay, so this guy will be an interface for my tool, and this guy will be an interface for what to use for documenting that tool. So this will be a struct. So this will be name string name. Then I have description. It should be string, yeah. Description. Okay, then I have input schema. Input schema will be map or something. Okay, map of any. Input schema. Let me copy this. Cool. I have this. Now here I can say this will take a context. So every tool will take my main context. Then they will get the request. So schema dot request, and they will take the params. Okay. Now this param has to be from my tool call. Okay, so let me check schema for parameters. Is there anything? I guess it should be JSON.raw message. Cool. Now similar to like the way I handle the errors and success codes for handler, I can handle similar things for my tool. So I'll say tools, let's say if my tool is successfully responding, so I can say response id JSON raw message, take the message with a string, and it should return me success response. Okay, cool. So here I should return this. I'm hungry. ID will be the ID that is provided. Result will be map string any. Okay, and if I see this, I'll simply say message with message. Okay, now this message is string. What am I doing? Let's say it's a generic list. Okay, it's a generic list. The text, I think I'm getting a call from my fold. Okay, can I pause the stream? How can I pause it? Oh, maybe fuck it. Okay, guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes. So my food is here. I have to take that delivery. So yeah, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Or I can set up something. This is something I have seen doing done by many streamers. Let's search for what's the recent anime I have watched. I'm reading Berserk, right? So yeah, you guys can see this. Or I can set up something. This is something I have seen doing. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Hello. Cool. So where are we? So I need this tool definition. Okay, I can listen. Okay, I can hear myself. Cool. Nice. Let's pause this. Okay. So what was this? Success response. Yeah. So I need to send an image. This can be a result, and some map text, and I'll say the actual text is message. Okay, and I'll just say is a response. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is this. Inside this, I'll create another thing. So my content is this. Now my content stores a list of this, any. Okay, cool. So this is the JSON. Inside the JSON I have content. Now content stores a list of maps, and along with this, if I enclose this, I can have one more thing here, which is error. Okay, cool. Let's create tools here. Okay, and inside this, okay, I need some params. Let's work on it. Say type so every hey, where is the text here? I think request this. So the request has to send the name, and it has to send the arguments, right? Params, something like this. So there should be name and there should be arguments. So I'll say name, JSON name this. There should be arg with amends, and this I can say that's a raw message, so that I need to worry about the schema. It can be anything. So yeah, cool. So this guy I can now use here. Now once I have this, now I can parse it. Okay, so params I got. So let's get the actual parameters into this struct instance, unmarshal, like insert on. New. Okay, I have only internal. I should also create one invalid params because I have to respect JSON-RPC error codes, right? So this thing, so I need to create this. So let's set this request ID, and I'll just manually say that you are calling let's say unknown tool parameter, or let's say invalid tool call params. Okay, okay, I don't need to, I don't need any formatting, so this should be enough. Okay, cool. I need to implement this guy. Now this guy should be maybe here, or okay, let it be here. I can copy this, I can paste this, I can this, I can this, this, okay. And I can say something like this: invalid params instead of internal error, and status code will be this instead of this. Okay, it should be 2. Okay, perfect. Cool. I got invalid params. Let me check. Okay, I got parse error. I got internal error. Okay, I got method not found. Yeah. And what else? Mm, um, I don't know. Let's see. I got this. Okay, so if I'm successfully able to parse the parameters, okay, so what will I do? So then ideally I should get the name of the function. Okay, so let's say tool name. So this I will get from params.name. Okay, so this will be tool name. Now based upon this, if I have multiple tools here, I should create a map out of it so that I can get this right. So what I should do is I should create a map. Map with name of the tool and the function associated with it. Okay, so if I have this, then whatever request I will get, I can always use that. Okay, so let me say tool handlers. Okay. So let's say let's stick to this. Let's create something like this. Tool handlers. It will be a map of string, and it will be tool handler. Okay, so I need to create something. Okay, fuck. Yeah. Let's create something for crop. Okay, I will create handle let's say crop image, or let's say image crop. Okay, handle image crop, or let's say image.crop. Okay, now this guy is not there, so I need to implement it. Okay, so now the tool creation is here. Okay, so what should happen? So tools are running, so should take the context, so context as it is, and it should also it should take the request. Okay, so I'll say request schema request. Okay, I think I already have the schema. Cool. Then there is parameter, which is to call params. Okay, so instead of this I can stick to tool call params. Okay, cool. Okay, now let's bring this to like this. Okay, now what should I return? I can return anything, so this will be any. Okay, now for every tool I should be able to parse it, right? So yeah, so I'll say args, and let's say here I create something, let's say crop crop.go. Okay, so this is from tools. Now when I'm doing cropping, what else, what I will require? So I'll require a ROI region. Okay, so I'll say let's say type crop input. Okay, so crop input, and whatever I have, tools, oh fuck, dot crop input. Okay, it should be something like this. And if I'm getting any error, oh sorry, first get the error. Get the error. Okay, JSON unmarshal params, I will get arguments, and this arguments I need to parse it with my arguments, and this is what I will use in my functions. Okay, so I'll say this. Now if I'm not able to parse it, okay, so I need to return some error, so let's say I return this. Okay, but if I'm able to parse it, okay, then now I have to think what should a tool return. Okay, what should a tool return? Okay, so I have to send it to an LLM. So LLM will understand so when I need to send it inside the request, I have to encode the image into base 64 and send it to an LLM. So if I'm cropping an image, that means I will get a ROI here. Okay, ROI I have to define, so I need this thing, top left. I need this thing, which is this bottom right, and it should come from the request, and in the request I can give this whole image as it is. Achha, but if I'm sending a very large image, okay, if I'm sending a very large image, this buffer guy will slap me because it has only 10 MB. And oh wow, cool feature, nice. Okay, so okay, so I should send ROI. Okay, and it should be the coordinates, and let's stick to image path. Okay. So LLM can always say, okay, or it will have the context that I did something and it got saved in this image path, and it can always go back and forth regarding the image path, and it can always ask questions regarding that. I hope so. Fuck it. Where is this tool handler? Yeah, cool. So let's say this. So I'll say image path string JSON this image path. Okay, so x will be my top left x coordinate, and this will be x. Okay, then this will be JSON with a y with this, and I can stick to width. Let's say width, because I can always get my bottom x and y, bottom right x and y using x, y, and width and height. Okay, so I'll stick to this. Okay, I'll say width. Okay, height, similarly I will not take float because I'll be dealing with pixels, right? Those are essentially grids, so I don't need floats. Yep. Okay, cool. Now once I have this, okay, so let me implement crop image itself. Okay, it should take an image. Okay, and it should be how to read an image in Golang. How to read an image in Golang. Yep. I'll be having multiple tools, right? So in everything, should I take this? Should I take image path? I'll be taking image path, so multiple tools will be reading from the same image path again and again. So let's stick to image. Okay, and I will require an ROI, so I'll define this ROI, and this should return me an image. Okay, and it should return me an error. Okay, cool. Now I have to define ROI. Okay, so okay, ROI should be pretty simple. It should be same as this, right? Cool. But what if the LLM is bad? It sends me coordinate which is not at all present here. So I need a validate tool. Validate. Okay, and let's create some schema around the tools using image. Okay, so I can take this guy to here, should work. Okay, and with every tool I can send some metadata. Let's create metadata, metadata, because when I will be reading the image I will be getting format, right? So I can send it in the metadata. Okay, so let's say width int JSON width. Okay, maybe I will just copy this. Okay, and let's say format string JSON format. Okay, and I'll be doing image level thing. So let's create a generic schema. Okay, so I'll say, let's say transform result. So image crop or any kind of blur, they will be sending a transform result. So that way I will always ensure every tool is having the same schema. So underlying value can vary, so I don't give a fuck about that. So string should send me a text, let's say JSON text, and it should give me an output path like, hey, where did you save the image after processing it? So output path. Now I am also creating a validate tool, which means it will not be saving an image, so I can say omit empty. Okay, so it need not to be always present there, and I missed this colon, sorry, what is this inverted code, which should be present there, and there is this metadata, let's say image metadata. Okay, and this I will parse with image metadata, or maybe simple metadata, because this is already a transform, and that it is already with respect to an image. So yeah, cool. Cool. So one more thing I should also implement is saving the image, right? So save the image. Okay, so okay, so what I'm planning here is, so crop will be a tool. Okay, now what this guy will be doing is, it will validate the image. Okay, so it will call something to this guy. So it will first validate the ROI over the image. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So basically, if I have this image, okay, and let's say the LLM chose a coordinate which is something like this. Phew. Or maybe let me draw it another color. Okay, let's say it chose a ROI region, something like this, which is out of bounds basically. Okay, maybe something like this. Okay, so I should validate it, and I should reject this kind of request. So that is what validate will do. Okay, so I'll say this, and let's call validate ROI. Okay, and it will take a ROI. Okay, and it will take an image dot image, and it will return me, let's say, a boolean and an error. Okay, if it is failed to validate. Okay, and for now, let's say it return false and nil. Okay, now crop will call it, or I can send a error itself. Okay, or is bad, let's say I'll stick to this is bad error. I'll say validate ROI, so I'll send this image along with the ROI, and if something went bad, I'll simply return image dot empty object with error. Okay, and is it not? Okay, it's an interface. Let me return an element. Can I return this? Yep. Now if it is bad, then I should return a tool call, like if it is bad. So for now, let's stick to this, because let me first complete this. Okay, so let's save the image. Let's implement that, because that is something I have in my mind. Let's say save the image temporary. Okay, so okay, so I'm just getting some idea. So what can happen? Okay, let's say a task. Okay, so let's say I have an image. Okay, so the task is basically in this image, let's identify wherever cars are. Okay, so my car drawing is pretty bad, but yeah, just bear with me. Okay, so if I'm doing something like this, okay, and I gave this image and I will ask the LLM, hey, count the number of cars, count the number of cars. Okay, so let's say I give this question and LLM will see, let's say I see 5 cars, sir. Okay, now this is wrong, right? So I can then ask the LLM, hey, crop out the car images, or let's say the car ROIs from the image. Okay, so using this I will have a eval system already. Okay, to validate whatever the LLM is saying is correct or not. Okay, and also one more thing can happen is, so LLM can send the tool call in a pipeline fashion. Okay, it can say that, hey, I need to crop out this portion and do a blur. Okay, so there is a crop in the pipeline, and then there is a blurring in the pipeline. Okay, and let's say after that you need grayscaling. Okay, let's say I also implement that tool. Okay, and before all of that shenanigans there will be a validation that is happening. Okay, so LLM can send, let's say, this 3, and I have to run it as a pipeline. Okay, so LLM will be building this, sending me a task to create this pipeline. So yeah, okay, cool. And all this pipeline outputs I have to save it, right? So just take my phone. Oh, it's already 1 a.m. Phew. Fuck. Okay, so first thing first, so let's save this temporary results in between the pipeline into some PNG format. I'll take a prefix for the name. Okay, I'll take image and I will say image.image. Okay, and what I will return is, I will return the output to that image. Okay, error. Okay, cool. So what I will be doing is, so I will be creating a directory. Okay, so in that directory, let me first take an image. Okay, let's say confusing images. I hope this doesn't get me any vulgar image. Okay, let's this is something interesting. Okay, let's save this image. Okay, maybe I can ask a question like count the number of cats, something like that. Okay, now let's close this. Let's say test data. Okay, and I will simply paste it over here. Okay, I'll say, oh shit, let's say it in cat image. Okay, what I can do here is I can use the same directory, and let's whatever is produced from the pipeline, I will save it in a, let's say, generated directory. So I'll say error. First I have to then make sure that the generated directory is present, right? So this I'll say test data, I'll say generated, and okay, how to call this guy, I forgot about this. Okay, how to create directory in Golang and ensure all the directories are present, I guess. There is some code. Okay, yeah, this is this. Okay, now if I'm failed to do this, I'll simply, let's say, send nothing with a error. Okay, but if I'm able to make the directory, then I will create files with respect to tool calls. Okay, so I'll say os.create temp. Yep, so it takes the string, right? So let's say main dr. So let's, oh shit, where is that? Cut, paste, main dr. I'll say main dr. Okay, and it needs a pattern, right? So fuck, I was creating a file, right? So here I'll use that prefix. Okay, and let me check how do you use this. I remember using this. Create a temporary file in the default system temporary directory. The asterisk in the pattern is replaced with a random unique string. Yes, cool. So I need this. So I'll say this will be separated by the hyphen. That will be asterisk, and I'll be saving it in a PNG. Okay, so this should give me a file pointer. Okay, and if there is an error, I can simply return this error. Okay, otherwise I will close out this file. Like, I have to close this file pointer and I will write to this file. So I'll say png encode. I have to file this and this image with the error with this with the yeah, if I'm getting any error, I have to return this, and in the end I have to return this file with a name with a nil. Okay, cool. So this should save the image. Okay, cool. Now saving the image, I should also have a function to get the image. So I'll say get okay, fuck, image. Okay, so it should take a image path, it's a string, and it should give me the this object. And while reading, where is that? Yeah, nope, where is that? While reading, I also get the format, so I can return the image metadata as it is. Right, cool. I'll say it returns me the actual image, it returns me image metadata, and it returns me a cute little error. Okay, cool. So I'll say file error os.open this image path. Okay, if error is not equal to nil, I'll say if I'm failed to open this file, if the file is not present, so I need to return an nil. I need to return this zero initialize image metadata if I'm not able to do it, and I'll return fmt error f. Okay, so I'll say let's say open image. I can do q w image path with error, and it's a comma. Okay, and defer file with a close, image format error image, decode it to file. Okay, and I guess I'll be needing okay, what happened? Okay, f11. Okay, cool. Image dot let's say jpg. If I have jpeg, let's say. Okay, I decoded it. Otherwise this I need to return nil. Okay, if I'm failed to decode the image. Okay, so I'll have this, I'll have this, I'll have this error f. Okay, I'll say decode image fail, w image path error. Okay, cool. And now image path, image metadata I have to build, right? Image metadata, so I already have the image in image. Okay, now I can say, let's say bounds, it'll be image with a bounds, and I have to return this image with the image metadata. I'll say width is bounds dot dx, yes. And height is something bounds dot dy. Okay, and I'll send the format. Yep, right. And in the end I have to return nil. Cool. So I can read the image. Okay, I can save the image. Okay, and I guess I have all the utilities now, right, to build a tool. Okay, yep. Okay, so now let's build the cropping tool. Okay, let's see. Acha, before cropping I have to build this validate tool. Yeah. Okay, so I have this validate this, it has the ROI, and let's say it returns me error. Okay, so why to return a boolean? Okay, so I'll say bounds image bounds. Okay, image. Yep. Okay, so first thing first, if the ROI that is given to me, if I have something like this, okay, so I'll say if ROI x is less than my bounds mean x. Yep. Yep. Right. So I have to return fmt error f. Okay. I'll say ROI x coordinate. Let's say percentage t is outside image bounds, and here I will simply say ROI.x. Okay, cool. Similarly I will do for y. Okay, let's say this x becomes y and this is a small y. Okay, then cool. I did this correctly, right? So this is my image. Okay, I got the bounds. Okay, now the ROI that is given to me, it's x coordinate, so which is this. Fuck, yeah, I'm correct. Yeah, I'm correct. Why am I doubting myself? Yes, so I'm looking at this, not this. Yes, so yeah, so if ROI is x, okay, if it is less than my bound minimum x, which will be my top left x coordinate. Okay, so yeah, x prime. Okay, if this is less than that, then yeah, it's a faulty image. So yep, and similarly for y. Okay, cool. And if my ROI's width, okay, is let's say less than 0, okay, so I have to return fmt error off. Okay, so I'll say ROI width must be let's say greater than with a 0. Okay, and similarly, if I can say same thing for height, this will be height. Okay, and I have this, then there is bottom right checks. Okay, so I'll say if ROI is x plus ROI is width, which is my bottom right x coordinate, if that is more than, now I'm in this case, okay, if that is more than my max of max x, yep, return fmt error f. Okay, so this ROI exceeds image width this percentage d, and I can say, let's say requested end is this. Okay, and let's say bound.max.x, and yeah, this is image, and here I will say x plus ROI dot width. Cool. Bounds s, yep, cool. And similarly for y, x fuck, this is weird. Okay, so let me write it. Y plus ROI height if that is greater than bounds of max dot y. I have to return fmt error of yeah, just exceed image height percentage d, requested and is percentage d. Okay, now I can use this actually. This can be y, this will be y, this will be height. Okay, I guess I have covered all the cases. Now if everything is okay, then I can simply return nil. Okay, cool. Cool. Now this is something I can use in my crop tool. Okay, so what I will do is I will send this and this, and I can write it in this manner now. Okay, so something like this. Now I'll be requiring an ROI. So if I'm remembering correctly, so cropping image in Golang, it needs an interface or something like that, some sub image. Yeah, you have to define your crop region in this, and yeah, it automatically does this. Okay, cool, you got this. So I'll say crop rect, this will be image of rect, right? Volume is correct. Okay, so this is image rect. I'll say this ROI x, ROI y, yeah, y, ROI x plus ROI width, ROI y plus ROI height. Okay, and this guy needs to be this. Okay, so I got crop rect. Then I'll say sub imager. I'll say okay image, this image. I'll say interface sub image. Sub image, it takes this image rectangle and it returns me image. Okay, now if I'm not able to define this interface, okay, so I'll say return nil and I'll send grid error, unable to crop the image with provided arrow with I. Yeah, it's v ROI. Okay, otherwise if everything is good, so I have got the cropped image, so I'll say cropped image this and I'll say sub imager with a sub image and I'll say crop rect. I'll return cropped image with a nil. Okay, cool. Now I got crop image. Now I can create an abstract layer out of it, so that is what we always do. Okay, we always create abstraction over abstraction, and this is why AI is blooming nowadays, because we need abstractions. Now this guy will be taking crop input, okay, and this guy will be returning transform result and it will return an error along with transform result. Okay, so first thing first, if my context is dead, okay, or if it errors out, okay, this so and error is not equal to nil, I have to return transform result and I have to return nil. Cool. Otherwise, read the image, which is this get image. I have to provide this, okay, and if error is not equal to nil, I have to do the same shenanigan. Cool. Now I will create the ROI instance, which is this input x, yeah, input y, width, input width, height, input height. Yep. So I got the ROI. Now I can get the cropped image. This will be crop image. Okay, image ROI and error not equal to nil. I'll return this transform result with a nil. Okay, if I fail to get the cropped image. Otherwise, if I got the cropped image, then I can save it, right? So I'll say output path error save temporary png blah blah blah. I'll save it in crop. Okay, this will be my prefix. So the way I will be saving it here is I have my test bad writing. Okay, so I have my test data here, so this will be my directory. In there I'll be creating this generated directory, and inside this the way I'll be creating is like crop, okay, and some shenanigan integer will be there, and this will be that png. Okay, so like this I'll be creating so that whenever I'm getting any request ID, okay, that ID will have a corresponding image path. Okay, let's say the request is to crop the image, so I will have this image path. Okay, let's say something, this is something like 1 2 3 4 or something, some random shit. Okay, cool. I got this, then I'll save the cropped image. Okay, and error if it is not equal to nil, I'll return transform result. Yep, and I will return nil. Okay, cool. Then this guy needs also metadata. Okay, so I can create a metadata also. So I'll say image metadata, and transform result needs a metadata, right? Yeah, so image metadata. Width I will get from input width. Okay, and because after cropping, so the dimension of the cropped region will be same as the requested ROI, so yeah, so I can use the same thing. Okay, so format will be, I'm always saving in PNG, so I can hardcode PNG here. Cool. So I got the metadata, then I can return the actual transform result. Okay, so along with the nil. Okay, cool. So it will take a text. Okay, so this is something I have to tell the LLM, like where its requested transformed image is stored. So I'll say sprintf cropped image region. Okay, so x t and y percentage t. Fuck, what is that? Width percentage t. Yeah, height percentage d. Okay, and now I have to supply the values. So let's bring this guy here, let's bring this guy here, not here, there. Nope, 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 nope. Yep. Okay, so input x, so input y, input width, input height. Cool. So I got the text. Now I need the output path. So output path will be this, and metadata will be this metadata. And finally, I have implemented one tool. Cool. I'm actually hungry. I'll just bring in my food here. So yeah. So I can see I have 4 watchers now. So I'll be having my dinner. So if you guys have any questions, so you can ask me in the chat. Yeah. So I can see. Okay. Fuck. That guy didn't give me any tissues. But lucky me, I have tissues. Okay. transform tool. Let me eat, then only. $2.8 fucking trillion parameter model. Who the fuck will deploy it? I've heard Google launched something called Hope by Google, which is something like Superman, right? Because Superman, that S stands for hope. Let me have this piece. Is this one? Okay. Holy fuck, this is a 70-page thing? Fuck. I'll say this is not a paper. This is a math book. Why have they given theorems? We do something. This should require space. What is this? No mouse click. I just have to get there. Okay. Nice. Easy. Ah! I guess something will come and it will kill me and ah. 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 Oh, wow, wow, wow. Ah. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Bug! Right, fuck. Aha. Oh. Oh, the directions are changed. Again? Oh, okay. Shit. Okay. I understood. Okay. Brain is not braining, so I'll go here. Oi, oi. Huh? The fuck am I doing? Easy, 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 easy. Huh? This is left to right. This is, yeah, right is right. What is pushing me? Okay, so I have to go like this. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Finally. Okay, fuck. So where am I? Handle crop image. This was inside tool handler, right? Um, okay, let's set a timer for me so that I don't overdo it. Let's say I will go for more 10 minutes. Okay, I'll try to implement this handle image crop. Let me see. Crop is implemented, validate is implemented. I have this cat image. Yeah, why this guy is complaining? Yeah, so I have the MCP and this. What was this for? So handle tool call. Based upon that, I will be calling this. So I can say tool will be this thing. So okay. Now this I have to implement it here. So let's say strings. Let's say check if path is empty. Okay, so params argument this, if it is not equal to nil, new, let's say invalid params error. Okay, so I'll say rec id invalid image.crop arguments. Okay, otherwise I am streaming, right? Yeah. So what's the issue with this? Oh, dream space. This what the fuck am I writing? Params dot arguments. This got here. Args dot image path. Yep. If args dot image path, then this will give me a error. If error is not equal to nil, this will not give me error. Yeah, this will give me a string. So if this guy after trimming is giving me nil, yeah, so fuck, equal to. Okay, so if it is equal to an empty string, that means I got an invalid parameter. Okay, if I got an invalid then afterwards, if I got a valid parameters, then result error tools crop. I'll pass in the context, I'll pass in the arguments. Now if this is this will give me a transform result. Return me, I need a, have I created a error for tools? I don't think so. Okay, I should return the error, let's say. Otherwise I have to return the tool success response, right? So return tool success response. Okay, So id I'll get from rec.id. Message I'll get from, okay, let me see, what did I thought when I implemented this? This is transform, so I need to create a transform result. Okay, so this will be this. I'll say this id, and here this will take request id, and this will take the result. Okay, so now I need to create this tool transform, and similarly for this let's create tool execution error. Let's say get.id, and let's say it takes the error message. Okay, what's the issue with this tool handler? Tool handler is a func that can return fuck any. Oh, now it's happy. Cool. To go to here. Response id JSON raw message result tools transform result. Okay, and it returns me success schema. So I'll collect the text result of text. If let's say my output path is not an empty string, so if I have some valid result, so I will just so I'll get the text from the tool, like at this position, at this ROI. With this ROI I have cropped the image. I will also need to add where have I saved the image, so that the LLM will have that in the memory. Output path plus result dot output path. Okay, now if result, let's say if there is something with the image, let's result dot this. If I have properly cropped the image, if the ROI region is not empty, okay, for example, I can get a point also, so ROI like this. Okay, so at the pixel level it will be something like this, but essentially it will be a point here. So if the top left and the bottom right coordinates are same, then okay, so let's say n metadata width %d height %d format %s result metadata width result metadata height result metadata format, and in the end tool success response I will pass the ID and I need the message will be this text. Cool. Now similarly I have to implement this thing. Failed. And okay, 10 minutes have passed. Let me just implement this guy also. Have I implemented it here? Let's return this. Yeah, so it needs to take the error message. So I'll be providing this will be a string, and it has to return schema of error response. Okay, so I got the .0 and ID and error this error message. Cool. So I got this and this, and this should give me cropping. Okay, I guess it's better for me to maintain a readme on all the things that I should implement. I guess that's it. I'll just create a init. So what else I have? I have implemented main. Let me create a readme. Okay. So I guess server side I'm okay. MCP server. Okay. Then I need to implement initialization methods. So let's say basic methods, or like all the methods for the server. So initialization, tool list, those are pending. So I can create something like this. So initialize notification. I will simply return nil. There is tool list. Yeah, tool list. Don't discriminate. Okay, I haven't tested this tools.call because I'm not sure like how to basically call it using that npx model context protocol, so I have to go through this, but that I will do tomorrow. Okay, then so this is not tested. What else? I have to implement client also, so MCP client is there, and okay, no, let's not do this again. Okay, so MCP client I have to implement. I also have to implement wrappers around Ollama. Okay, so that I will be able to call it, because it will also involve its own schema and all that. Okay, so basically a request wrapper I have to create over Ollama. And then what else? I got the server, client side will basically call the server, it will get it. I have to create a orchestrator test orchestrator tester. Okay, so which will use the Ollama, use the MCP client, it will use this MCP server, it will basically call it. So orchestrator I have to write. What else? So let's make a list of the tools that I need to make. Okay, so tool let's say tools to implement. Okay, so I got the cropping, so I will write a big X here. Okay, I also got validate, so this is also done. What else? Basic image tools. Okay, grayscale, maybe grayscale, I need that. I also mentioned something here, pipeline somewhere I mentioned blur, so let's say Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur, that tool I can have. Then what else? Do I need sharpening? Nope. Let me see. Yeah, basic image tools, crop, resize, resize. Let's say I can go for resize. Okay, so let's go with resize. Then there is, let's say, brightness. Okay, let's go with contrast. It's basically like doing some pixel addition or multiplication, so it should be simple. What else? I guess since my goal is to have this, so what will happen? So the LLM will give me ROI, but I guess it will be a better tool to, if I can draw a bounding box around this. Okay, if I ask it to like get me the count and also draw the ROIs, so it can call the tool and draw the ROIs. So maybe I can have something like, let's say, highlight. Okay, so highlight will basically draw the ROIs, so that thing I can have. What else? Okay, oh yeah, I need a major tool, okay, which I have not created, which is like properties tool. So if the LLM just want to know like the image properties, the dimensions and all that, so I need to create the basic tool, so that I have to create. And yeah, what else? So I got the MCP. Okay, so once I have the MCP server, I have the MCP client, I have the Ollama wrapper around me. So I should be able to test it. Now for that I will require test orchestrator. Now the test orchestrator can connect to the client, and the client can make request to server. Okay, and the client can talk to the LLM will decide what all parameters will be sent. And in between all of that shenanigans, I'll have my tools. So yeah, I guess this is all. Okay, optional things that I will be needing is updating this readme. Okay, so updating readme, and readme, I guess so. Okay, and maybe later on I can transform this Vision-MCP thing to something like a model explainability kind of a thing. Because anyway, so uh, once I'm asking the model to draw ROI, so I will be able to use it to like you like use this tool to validate like whether the LLM is looking at the right region or not. So yeah, I can move in that direction. So yeah, I guess this is all for this stream. Let me check if any people are there. Okay. Okay, I can see 3 people here. It shows 2. I guess +1 is for myself itself. So yeah. Cool. So thank you guys for watching. So this was my first stream. So I have never streamed before. So thanks for that. And yeah, so I will be making more study streams in future. So but yeah, I don't want to. So this is something for me I'm doing. Okay. If you guys want to participate with it, because I'm also learning. Okay, so basically I read all this MCP Inspector, okay, all that, and this JSON-RPC, and based on that I'm just implementing. Okay, so I'm not at all sure whatever I'm writing whether those are correct, because I know that things will work, but whether those are the right way to do implement it, so that part I'm not sure. I'm just whatever part I understood from the documentation, those things I'm just implementing. So yeah, so this is like, that's why it's a study stream, because I also don't know whether I'm doing correctly or not. So yeah, so I cannot tell you guys, basically I cannot like give you a lecture or help you anything. Okay, so but yeah, it will be helpful for me also, and maybe for you guys also. So if you have any doubt, so you can ask in this live stream, so I'll be happy to answer. And if you are seeing me doing something wrong, so you can also post comment around it. And if you are seeing some part of the section confusing, not understanding, you can also ask it in the comment. So I'm not sure what is this. Okay, something went wrong. Okay, and I'm not sure how to see the chat. So basically I'm looking at my iPad here to look for chat, so not sure. But yeah, I will look into it, like how to read chats during live stream. So yeah. Okay, cool. So this is all for this stream. So I guess I just need to click this button. And yeah, good night, guys. Thanks for watching.